Welcome to Barbarian Saga, featuring Chunkvellir, my chunk-locked Ironman. Chunkvellir is a barbarian with a dream and a keen sense of adventure. He's bored of his hometown of Barbarian Village and has his heart set on joining the Outpost way out to the west. Taking one chunk at a time, he'll be exploring all the barbarian activities his world has to offer him. He'll overcome crazy grinds, defeat powerful foes, and maybe even make some friends along the way. At the end of the last episode, Chunkvellir had finally left home for the first time. We're catching up with him today as he's entering a new chunk. Chunk 12342 to be exact, otherwise known as Edgeville. Not many people know this, but the village is actually named after its founder, Edgeville, who's currently working at the local prison as the guard chief. This new village brings some crazy grinds, some fancy new gear upgrades, and a chance for Chunkvellir to practice some cool new skills. Today, we're going to see if we can take Chunkvellir from being both a crafting and a ranged scrub to being the hottest archer in the land. But first, let's go check out that bank we've been accumulating all this time. That's weird, I guess Chunkvillir's never set a bank pin. But they're asking for Chunkvillir's 7 favourite numbers. 8, 0, 0, 8, 1, 3, 5. Jeez, Chunkvellir. Really? But nice, look at that. I'm not currently a member right now, so some of these items are a little bit off limits, but I'm glad we've collected all this noted tin and copper. We've got a hefty stack of iron ore too now, and a decent amount of bronze arrows. And of course our members item, flax. We'll be able to unlock crafting in this chunk, which in turn will allow us to spin the flax so we get into bowstrings, the spinning wheel in the centre of Barbarian Village. Anyway, I'm glad I can finally stop acting like a dirty little disgusting Ultimate Ironman now and offload all this crap into the bank, and I immediately feel lighter. I suppose we have our Barbarian Village best in slot gear too here, which we can dump in. And look at that, 0 kilograms. Feels good, feels fresh. So I think we'll start by having a little look around, see what we've got here, and take a look at our new chunk goals. But first, I'm very excited to announce our first sponsor of the channel. Let's take a look what Pesca's shop has to offer.
His name is Pexa, but his prices cannot be beaten. Come on down to Pexa's Helmet Shop, just off the Falador-Varric Highway. He's got medium helms, he's got full helms, he's got it all. Don't worry about the cold inside Pexa's shop. Come warm yourself by his roasting hot permanent fire. How does he do it? Pexa's helmets are also capable of blocking up to 69% of the blue light entering your eyes. He's always up to date with the latest fashions in helmets, so come grab yourself a fine one and use promo code for 50% off at checkout.
Well, not to devalue my sponsorship, but one of the coolest things about Edgeville is that it has a general store, meaning now we can buy a few of the key tools we'll need to help us progress. The first nice tool is the knife. The knife unlocks fletching as a skill, allowing us to craft some basic unstrung short bows. If you remember, we did get the oak short bow last episode, so this will help us to bridge that level 1 to 5 gap and start training for real. There's also willow and yew trees in this chunk, so we'll need to fletch those into bows as well, providing us with a incremental upgrade, but also forming our first chunk goal, which is 72 fletching for the yew shield. Of course, we'll need to chop yew trees to get there, so we'll also need level 60 woodcutting, which is our second chunk goal. Another important tool we have now is the chisel. Obviously the chisel will allow us to cut our gems, but it isn't necessarily the tool that unlocks crafting. Instead, imps are going to be the key to unlocking our crafting. And why is that, you might say? Because they have a clay drop at a rating 1 in 32. All this time you've had access to a pottery hut in Barbarian Village, but we've not technically had access to imps thus far. A few did wander into the chunk, but none of the actual imp spawn points were located inside our starting area. It makes sense that imps are demons, because the crafting goal for this chunk is going to be one hell of a grind. No, but seriously, in this chunk we'll have access to uncut diamonds, which we'll talk about later, but that does mean that we'll need to get 43 crafting to cut those diamonds with our chisel. The initial goal for crafting will be to get to level 10 so we can unlock those bowstrings, and then to level 20 so we can start chiseling the sapphires we've saved up so far. To get there, we'll have to start spinning any clay we can get our hands on. Starting with clay plots, which only have a level 1 crafting requirement, we'll need to get ourselves level 7 for pie dishes, which will take approximately 52 clays at 12.6 XP per pot. 6.3 for actually spinning the clay, and then 6.3 again for firing it in the kiln. The unfortunate thing is, there's actually a chance to fail when firing the clay in the kiln, where you crack the pottery and you don't get any XP for the clay used. So the chances are we'll probably need more than 52, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see what the crack rate is. Once we've got level 7, we can move on to pie dishes, which will give us double the amount of XP at 25, meaning we'll only need 7 clays to get to level 8, which is that next milestone for bowls. Clay bowls aren't quite as big as an XP boost at only 33 XP, but I probably shouldn't complain about this part of the grind too much. So we'll be smoking bowls all the way up to level 19, which will take 97 clays, and we'll unlock the ability to craft plant pots, which I must stress requires 18 more levels than a regular pot, only that it has the addition of a small hole at the bottom. You're required to get 18 more levels of progress just to craft less of a pot, but whatever. Anyway, we'll need to craft 14 plant pots before we can start cutting those sapphires. So that's approximately 170 clays for level 20 crafting. Keeping in mind that we're going to be cracking a few along the way, and we're probably going to be looking for more around 200 in total. So this is where the pain begins really. Just for level 20, we'll need to kill approximately 200 times the 1 in 32 drop rate, which is 6,400 imps. Now, maybe you're thinking, wow, this guy is sure making a big deal of this. There are just 8 HP imps. But the next thing we need to address is that imps are annoying little creatures that have 2 rather big downsides. First of all, the best place for hunting them in this chunk is right here in front of Evil Dave's mum's house, as there are 2 spawns right next to each other, but they only spawn every 30 seconds. If I killed one on the exact tick it spawned, I'd be getting a chance at clay every 15 seconds. 15 seconds times 6,400 kills is 26 hours of spawn killing imps just to get level 20. It's not even a level an hour. While I was editing this rant, I sort of realised it's easy to listen to me complain, but it's sort of hard to visualise how many 6,400 imps actually is. So I've been speaking to Cristelia to see if there's any magic that we can rustle up in order to better explain, and she found Chunkvellir, an ancient incantation that might help me get my point across. So let's give that a go. And there we go. To try and give you a bit of perspective, this is 4,096 imps, which is only approximately 65% of the 6,400 imps that we actually need to kill. I tried to show the full 6,400, but it strained the magic that holds Gielinor together. Yeah, it crashed the Runelite client. But yeah, continuing on with the video. The second downside is that imps are scared little demons and love to teleport away from danger. And their favourite place to teleport? Obviously it's over this massive fucking hill. Unfortunately for us, it's in a whole nother chunk. I don't know the exact percentage teleport chance, but if we base it on the giant mole, who has a similar runaway mechanic, there's maybe a 25% chance for my little double spawn killing process to get broken up until the imp either decides to teleport back over or dies over there. So if we make some numbers up from nothing, that's maybe 35 hours for level 20, which is insane. All that for level 20 crafting. Oh wait, what's that? Level 20 is only 8.8% of level 43. So this will probably require an additional 40,000 imp kills, but I don't want to think about that too much at the moment, honestly. So for now, let's go for that walk and try to forget that crafting is a skill. We have a house full of men here, maybe worth killing some of these for easy clues and beginner clues. Limpwet had so much fun killing men and women in Lumbridge. He decided to do it 100,000 times, so there must be something good. Must be something to make that worth it. These men do actually also unlock the thieving skill for us, which is nice. This adds another chunk goal to us for 40 thieving to pick the pocket the guards at the prison. Doris lives here in this house and provides us access to both a range and also an unlimited water supply. Funnily enough, there's no water supply at all in Barbarian Village, adding another point to that mystery of why they have a whole pottery station going on there, but whatever. Just means that if you're a barbarian living in Barbarian Village and you wake up in the night for a glass of water, you need to make the trek all the way to Doris's house to fill up your glass. And right here we have our best in slot gloves. Whew, we're gaming. There's some big rats down here in the dungeon, which provide us a new way to train our cooking, as well as a way to quickly collect up some basic food. And around the corner here we have our first Slayer Master, potentially unlocking the Slayer skill. I say potentially because Vanica has a range of monsters you can assign for our Slayer tasks, some of them which are available to us in the chunk, and many that are not. Right now at this level, with 0 quests unlocked, there are monsters that Vanica thinks are technically possible for us to complete. However, these are the monsters that we actually have access to at this point in the journey. So I guess let's roll the wheel. Let's see if we're allowed to unlock Slayer. And we have a winner, hobgoblins, and a fairly high number of them to kill as well. And additionally, Vanek has a nice little shop here that sells a range of Slayer equipment if we ever reach the Slayer level for these items, maybe one day. Some of them actually might come in handy as some feasible gear for the Chunk. Just around the corner here from Vanica is a little group of hobgoblins. But something to note about these is that there are 2 different varieties, level 28s and level 42s. Since my Slayer test doesn't specify which one I need to kill, I can actually try making the most of this set number of kills by killing the one that provides the most Slayer XP per kill. In this case, the level 42s provide significantly more Slayer XP per kill, so I'll be focusing on those guys. This should help me squeeze out every little bit of luck that I've had from getting this possible monster in the first place. And obviously a giant part of the Edgeville dungeon is these guys over here. They also have a 1 in 128 drop to drop a giant key, which will allow us to fight Obor. For the uninitiated, Obor is the king of the hill giants, and the biggest drop we'll need from him is the hill giant club at a rate of 1 in 118, which means if we go to the drop rate, we'll need to kill approximately 15,000 hill giants to gather up 118 keys. Luckily, in theory, this grind should get easier along the way, as we'll be picking up some nice upgrades from Obor as we kill him. He drops a lot of rune gear that we'll also need to pick up. While we're here, those uncut diamonds from the crafting grind we spoke about earlier are the ones that are dropped by Obor. So, although he'll be setting up with some sweet gear, he's also damning us to the worst grind ever. I've been testing out the drop tables at these outlaws, and an imp gave me a bread dough, so I think we're going to try and give cooking a go, since we have access to a range now. We've got bread dough and a raw rat meat ready here for a rat butty if we're successful. We'll save these 2 for later, and start our first food tab at the bank too. Now that cooking is properly unlocked, and we have access to the imp drop table for flour, we'll need to get ourselves all the way up to 58 cooking to cook a pita dough. A good chunk of that XP is going to come from raw rat meat, which we can collect pretty quickly down here, and then run upstairs and make an inventory on Doris's range. Gotta love that early levels of a new skill, easy total levels. Jumping ahead a little bit here, we're just checking in to show you my Slayer progress. We're already up to level 12, and I've just been collecting another inventory of food. Ooh, and there's 54 attack. I'll be right back at hobgoblins after all this is cooked up. I decided to kill a hill giant for fun, and it dropped our first shield slot, the Iron Kite Shield. And oof, we have a real gamer over here. I thought I was having fun on this account, but I just hadn't met this guy yet. I'm wrapping up the last kill of the task here now, and we've got a few random runes, a bunch of seeds. Most importantly though, we're up to level 22 Slayer, which means we've got a few nice pieces of Slayer gear we can wear. We're just missing the mirror shield, which would have been nice. Maybe Vanica will be nice to us and give us another task we can do. Yeah, I didn't really think so. Sadly, we don't have access to ogres, so that task will have to wait, which unfortunately means that we're locked out of Slayer 2 for now, but oh well. Gathering another inventory of food got us 36 prayer and 500 total level. Speaking of total levels, we can boost ours up quite quickly now with this stack of tin and copper ore we've banked. We unlock smithing in this chunk, kind of, with the ability to use the Edgeville furnace. We can get started on our smithing grind. The barbarians back home use a mixture of iron and steel tools, so we're going to set Chunkvelir's smithing goal to level 30 to unlock steel smelting. Unfortunately, we don't have access to an anvil, well, not a real anvil, just yet, so smithing is a bit of a dead skill, but we'll find Chunkvellir a smithing master who will be able to train him to do some high level smithing later on. Almost finished with our stack of smithing materials already, and we're only level 13 so far. These bars don't really give much XP rewards. We'll need to go back to Minotaurs at some point to collect more ore. So we've got some decent gear on us now, but our main weapon slot is still quite underpowered. Luckily for us though, we've picked up a weapon poison from the last chunk with Ankus. And the unarmed hobgoblins have a 1 in 64 chance to drop the steel spear, which will be able to poison. So let's go and get one of them. Okay, that didn't take long at all. That took 6 kills. Nice, nice, nice. Didn't expect it to get so quick. It's the next day now, and our mate Jamal Odin is still here being a cool dude. I actually stopped playing for the day shortly after that last clip again, and we're back here again the next day. Jamal is still here to welcome us back to the game. Decided to give that crafting grind a little go to see what I'm in for. So there's 2 spawns over here, and I've got timers so I can see them both spawn. I've enlisted the help from my #1 fan over here to try and kill some imps if they teleport over the wall. At least that way they can respawn back over here in this chunk. I thought I'd share what an inventory of imp loot looks like so you can see the junk that these guys drop and how much clay we're actually not getting from this. Yeah, I don't know if this is me being really unlucky, but it's like a whole hour later now. I've only gotten 2 clays. 2 clay an hour really isn't going to cut it. Killed about 370 imps so far. This should be enough for level 2 if we don't crack any. Gonna run this over now and see how we do. So I'm safe at this point here in terms of losing pots due to mistakes. It's this next firing step that can... Yep, there we go. Well, we should still have enough for level 2 as long as we do that again. There we go, level 2. Gonna be an interesting grind this. If we can get ourselves a gold bar or 2, we could have a crack at creating some jewellery from scratch maybe. Going back to hill giants for a bit, I'm going to go and see how AFK it is. Hopefully I can edit this video while I kill them. Apologies if these clips were all over the place. I'm just excited to try all this new stuff out. Going to try my luck at the black demons to see if I can get anything cool. Remembered this time to actually bring my teleport. With the Runelight plugins, I can actually swap the primary use of this teleport to be left click, which is nice as a little escape panic button. Right, so I definitely underestimated these guys. I've been flinching here now for a little while and I'll tell you, it's pretty rough. It's really rough. I'm barely hitting on these guys and when I do, the poison only does 40 damage. I'll come back when I've actually gotten a kill. Okay, coming up on my first kill, exactly 10 minutes later, and... a looting bag? Not sure I fully need this, but I guess it's nice if I want to start here for a long time. There seems to be some massive variance on these kills. I've been genuinely killing this guy now for 25 minutes. This is pretty shit. Another kill. This one took 17 minutes so far. Fingers crossed for something good. Nope. Another 15 minutes for this one. 10 minutes for this one. One more, and this should get me a level though. There we go. 38 prep. Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer I can do this. I think I just need to train up some more. Decided to do some melee training on these hill giants in the true free-to-play fashion, and I just got my first giant key to at 355 KC. That's just 1 down and 117 to go. Got my first long bone at 1165 KC, not too shabby. I'll need that curved bone too at some point, but I'm pretty sure I'll be seeing a lot more longs on the way. Kind of a big milestone, 43 prayer unlocked. I'm sure that'll come in handy at some point. Got another long bone, exactly 100 kills later. Oof, not seen one of these in a while, but that's enough XP for level 3 hunter. I'm going to pick up an iron axe for woodcutting to give me something to AFK while I do IRL things. I think I'm going to stay here for a little while. I'm getting around 20k XP an hour currently if I'm paying attention. Got a little stack of logs here now, probably enough to start the fletching grind. Doing some more oaks for the fletching gap. I'm going to get myself up to level 35 fletching before moving on. Slowly building up these sapphire rings for Obor later on. Back at the willows again now that I'm level 35 fletching, and here is 60 woodcutting. I've just been doing a little bit more research about this chunk, and I think I might have discovered something kind of neat that I didn't know about previously. Look at this! I can reach these earth warriors with magic without needing to use monkey bars. Plus, if I get any cool drops, maybe that earth staff perhaps? I'll be able to telegrab them now I've got level 33 magic. Yeah, let's just pretend that I didn't accidentally teleport and just continue on. Using magic on those earth warriors sort of makes me want to test that setup on the black demons again. Magic will surely be faster, but I'm not sure how long I can keep up with my limited runes. Yep, ran out of runes pretty quickly, but I'm feeling empowered to get back at these black demons. The loot table is just too nice to avoid really. I've got another batch of clay to fire here. Let's go and get some crafting levels. Level 3 crafting, not bad, not bad. Thieved a couple men here to get level 5 thieving and around 600 total level. So a little bit of time has passed now and we're getting close to 70 wood cutting. A Bob the Cat random has just got us up to level 7 fishing, and we've also got another little inventory of clays here, which I don't think we'll get as a level, but I just felt like doing a bit of a crafting run. Level 70 wood cutting achieved, and we're going to keep going for now. These willow logs will come in handy, and every level we get chopping these willows just means that it'll be easier and faster when we actually start properly chopping the yews instead. A book of knowledge coming in for level 4 hunter. Another random event, and this time for a steel plate body. Unfortunately it's not that mithril scimitar. You know, this juggling may be a rough task, but it does look pretty when you've got all the purple lights around you. Using up all my tin and copper from the Minotaurs, and we're up to level 15 smithing now for iron bars. Whenever I see an imp around me, I always like to make the effort to come and farm them for a little bit before they all teleport too far away, hoping this will make that future clay grind a little bit more bearable. Just missed it, but that's level 5 hunter from another book of knowledge. I've been farming these imps now for a good while, and I think this should be the last one I need for something kind of interesting. In theory, depending on how lucky we get our clay breakages, this should be enough to unlock the ranged skill. Just for some points of reference, this is how our bank's looking like after approximately 2,300 imp kills. Got a healthy stack of these imp heads. What I was surprised by though is these mine talismans. I don't know if they're being merged at the moment or something, but they're going for like 6k each. If you killed these imps at somewhere they were more common, like Ardi Monastery or something, you might be making a considerable amount per hour. Also, we've got enough beads here for 77 completions of Imp Catcher, which would get you to level 45 magic if you ended them all in. Also, this grind's got me a decent chunk of food, to be fair, which will come in handy later on. So this clip here is where I really started feeling that YouTuber celebrity lifestyle. Escanor gave me 4 bonds along with some very nice words. If you guys do feel like you have any donations you want to give me, then you know where to find me in game. However, if you do have any complaints instead, you can also feel free to send them to my address at 220 Science Park, Cambridge, CB4 0WA. Let's go actually use those clays now and see where we can get up to. Okay, I'm a bit dumb. I forgot to account for the pots cracking in my calculations just now, so I will need a few more clays, BRB. Okay, we're back, and this time we've got an army of fans to help us celebrate me unlocking the range skill. We have Flake Assist here, really just putting in the work. Fingers crossed these guys don't crack this time. And hey, there we go. Flax spinning unlocked. This guy really hit me with the what now? Mate, now I can play the fucking game. I mean, now I can get a level 1 short bow. String and wood makes a bow. Here we go. We're gaming. We're really just playing a video game. Now that we have these bowstrings, we can actually set up our ranged progression path. Well, at least up to Willow for now. We don't really have much range gear at the moment, so unfortunately our setup is looking kind of povo, but we can pick up the Addy Med Helm again for a bit of a defense boost. Starting back at the Minotaurs again, now that we have some range levels to train, and we can make the most of it and juggle some clues too while we're here. And there is the start of our range level, level 3. Level 5 just missed it, but we can upgrade to the Oak Shortbow now. Level 20 just missed it again, but it means we can upgrade to the Willow Shortbow now. Up to level 24, and just wanted to see what the range training was like on these hill giants. Obviously it's all going to be pretty slow, but maybe a better option for a while since I don't have much food on me. Up to level 32 now, and got myself another longbone, so that's 3 so far, and I'm also up to 11 giant keys. Gonna start doing a little bit of fletching now, as soon I'll need that U shortbow, as I'm only 1 level away from being able to use it. Up to level 46 fletching now, and also hit 700 total level. Nice. Okay, so after day 1 of fletching, I'm all the way up to level 63. I'm gonna stop for the day now, but we're almost there. 8k Willow longbows done so far.
The next day. Better get fletching.
Feeling a little bit more fresh this morning, and I've already smashed out those last few levels. We're at 65 fletching already, and we can go and pick up ourselves a U-log. Scrape it with a knife, then pull the bow out my arse before tapping it on the top and the bottom, and there we go, our final upgrade, a U shortbow. Here we go now, the final kill for 40 ranged. In just one episode, Chunkvellir has really gone from human's discovery of basic tool usage all the way up to master bowmanship. In the next episode, we'll get started on the wood cutting grind and... wait, what?